Hello and welcome to Enquire to Choir. My name is Eva and I'm here to help you, fellow choir people. It's the season of conclusions about the year we've had, and I really hope you had a good one this year. For me, 2017 was very demanding. There were some big losses, but I have to admit that career-wise it was extraordinary. The last few months have been unbelievable. That big thing I kept talking about in Enquire Conductor's vlogs was an amazing success, and to be honest, I'm still recovering from it. And I feel ready to take the next stage of my life. Along with that, I have learned some invaluable lessons in 2017. So in this video, I will try to sum them up, hoping it will be useful for you as a fellow choir person. So here it is, my list of 8 big lessons of 2017 as a choir conductor. Lesson number 1 is never put your past choir music sheet very far away. Okay, this one maybe seems a bit silly and obvious to you. I did a major summer cleaning. I archived most of my music sheet and I organized them so I'm able to find everything in the future. However, there were some scores I have put really far away because I thought there was no way I will need them this season. Wrong! We had a lot of surprising engagements this season which demanded a specific repertoire, and I had to dig deep in the past. Just saying, keep your music scores in sight. The same issue leads me to lesson number 2. Never underestimate the power of having a diverse repertoire. I want to put this out there. Diversity matters because people are diverse in every possible way. Point taken. Back to topic. I must admit that I never specifically planned for my choir's repertoire to be diverse. It mostly came from me being a young conductor in a young choir who still didn't have a developed identity. However, I have come to greatly appreciate the diversity of the choir's repertoire and that we have music pieces for literally every kind of event. And that solved a lot of problems this year. For example, we even had to sing on an important funeral. You never know what's coming up, so be prepared and have a diverse repertoire. Lesson number 3. If the whole piece keeps being off key, no matter what you do, try changing the key. I know this is probably a bit eccentric, but hear me out. Obviously, this works if a music piece is not written in a specific key, and it does not work for classical music. My choir doesn't sing classical music, and the arrangements I write for them are flexible when it comes to the key of the piece. I'm not saying that this should be your go-to solution because it's an easy way out. I'm just saying that if every time you sing that piece, your singers are good when they're alone, but when they're together, it just sounds off, and you tried everything else, try putting it a half tone lower. Again, it had worked for me in one crucial situation this year, and it really made a huge difference. Everything was great just by changing the key. I wish I had known this before. I would not lose many hours of sleep because of it. Lesson number 4. Every choir has a key which is not comfortable for them. I don't know why this is. I think it's because you have a specific group of people whose resonance is at a specific frequency. But I have to say, it just seems true to me. In fact, this year, I managed to figure out the bad key for all my ensembles. For my female vocal ensemble, it's F major. For my mixed choir, it's E major. For my children's choir, it's B major. I'm not saying that this key for them is too high or too low because It depends on the music piece and the melody and the arrangement. But in these keys, the sound of the ensemble is just not the same as it is in every other key. The whole thing is just off. So when I write arrangements for them, I try to avoid them, the keys. Lesson number 5. Just because you're scared doesn't mean you're gonna lose it. So this year, it was the first time for me in my lifetime to be conducting an orchestra. It was a jazz orchestra, it was a non-professional one. Nonetheless, it's a great ensemble with people who I greatly appreciate, with a conductor whose respect I want to have, and with people who are much older than me and whose knowledge is far, far beyond mine. I was so scared, I was. But I studied the scores, I studied everything about them. I was prepared. And when the first rehearsal with the orchestra and my choir came, I knew my stuff. I must admit I surprised myself then, because when I stood on that podium, I was not losing it. I was in control. My core knew that my responsibility for my choir is to be a good leader and a professional. So my duty overcame my fear. You never know how you will react in these situations. So for me, it was nice to be able to learn that about myself this year. Lesson number 6. Everyone has an opinion. Choose the people whose opinions matter. Look, you're standing in front of everyone, in front of your choir, in front of an orchestra, in front of all the people in the audience. It's not easy. I was critiqued this year more than any previous one. It was said to my face, it was said behind my back, it was said rudely, it was said constructively, it was said nicely. While I appreciate every information that came to me, I realized at some point that not every opinion is correct, not every opinion is constructive, and almost no one knows from experience what they're talking about. I learned a lot about my work this year, and I like to believe that I became better because I think I have put a great effort to become better, but I had to select what I care most about and what kind of a conductor I want to be. That said, lesson number 7 is decide what kind of a conductor you want to be. There are a lot of different people who do the same job very differently. You don't have to be like anyone else. You can decide what kind of a conductor you want to be. Yes, I want to be a good conductor, but do I want to be a positive one? Do I want to be an emotional one? Do I want to be expressive? Do I want to be very strict and minimalistic with my hand gestures? Do I want to show weakness to my choir, emotions to my choir? Do I want to sing happy birthdays to my choir members? Think about it. What kind of a conductor you want to be? And finally, the biggest lesson of 2017. And if anyone who I know in real life is watching this, I want to say thank you for making me realize this year, because I think I'm very lucky to have realized this and to have proof of this while I'm still rather young in the business. Lesson number 8 is people notice if you are a hard-working and kind person who never stepped on anyone to get further ahead. I can't express this enough. I know being a conductor is a very competitive workplace, but I have to say that this year I had to cooperate with a lot of other conductors, but every single person was very kind, very appreciative, and I had such a great support this year. The choir's leadership this year and every year before, but this year we had to work so hard. I'm really happy to say that I feel fully supported. I feel like they have my back. I really take it very seriously to be kind to them, to cooperate, to be a person who is known for being reliable and for being consistent, dedicated, hardworking, and loyal. All the best things in the end of the year came from that. I am very lucky to be acknowledged, to be surrounded by people who appreciate the fact that I'm not an egomaniac. And the most important thing for me is for my choir to be happy. Okay, so that's it. The biggest 8 lessons of the year. I really hope that 2017 was a good one for you, and I wish you all the best for 2018. Thank you for all your support here on Enquire to Choir. It's a small channel and the group of subscribers is very small, but I like it that way. If you wish to talk to me, you can go to Facebook, Enquire to Choir. If you like the video, you can like it. If you wish to see more in 2018, you can subscribe. You can see I don't have a schedule anymore because I was swamped with the amount of work I had, but in 2018 there is new content coming up. I have a lot of ideas and more free time in January, so I hope I will get more videos ready for you so you can watch something every week. Conduct well, conductors, and I'll see you next year. Bye!